Well, sometimes prison works, and that may be the case of a man who was facing the death penalty but pleaded guilty to lesser charges. Christopher Tolton has been in prison for 20 years following the murder of a Salt Lake man and wounding another. Now he claims he's a changed man and he wants parole. For every crime, there's a story, and the truth matters. Here's ABC4 senior crime and punishment correspondent Marcos Ortiz with tonight's Justice Files.
Christopher Tolton is a convicted killer. Back in 1997, he was hanging around with the wrong people, drifting from home to home, jobless, and an angry young man. All that landed him in prison, but he says looking back, life behind bars has been his redemption.
I was just making horrible decisions ever since I was about 15.
It was a life of drugs, drinking, and stealing for money. That's what a young Christopher Tolton was going through. One day in 1997, Tolton admitted to buying a gun at a pawn shop. He says he felt empowered with it in his hand. He and a friend headed to Fairmount Park, where Tolton shot and killed a 21-year-old and wounded a 15-year-old. Tolton says the money would be used to make things better in his crumbling life.
I panicked. It's not really crystal clear, but I know that I was in a mode of kind of self-survival and just, I have to try to get away with this. I can't believe what just happened.
Tolton and his accomplice, Davy Joe Williams, were eventually arrested for the murder and attempted murder. In 2001, at Tolton's sentencing, family members of the victims refused to comment. Tolton's plea deal spared his life.
He agreed that this was a case where the death penalty might be actually too good, and so we structured this in a way that he'll be a very old man before he comes out of prison.
But Tolton is only 45 years old, and after 20 years in prison, he's now eligible for parole. He recently appeared before a hearing officer. Tolton offered an apology to his victims, Arthur Sanchez, whom he killed, and Carlos Chavez, the 15-year-old who survived.
I tell him I'm sorry, that he didn't deserve that. He was a really good kid. He hung out with us.
Over the time in prison, Tolton says he's become religious, which he says helped him understand his mistakes, like hatred towards others and even his own insecurity.
It's given me the strength to tell people no. It's giving me the shield that was necessary to move myself away from negative peer groups. It's been one of the most valuable things that I could ever speak about.
The hearing officer called Tolton's prison resume impressive. He teaches his Muslim faith to other inmates, has developed a program to help inmates make the transition from prison to society, all that while earning a college degree. But it will be up to the entire Board of Pardons to review his case to see whether or not he can be paroled. For the Justice Files, Marcos Ortiz, ABC4 News.